Hi, it's Elise here at Bowman Library, the whole new middle grade book spotlight. So for this week, we are being inspired by something that I feel like either some people really love or other people can't stand. And I'm hoping the people that maybe can't stand it, maybe I can shift your opinion just a little bit. We are taking a look at books. We have some fiction, some graphic novels that are superhero inspired. Yes, okay, we have some that are, the Marvel DC-esque comic superheroes, but then we also have others, because believe it or not, there are others that have their own original superhero characters. And those are the ones that if you're not a superhero person, fan, you might actually be willing to maybe try one of those. So we have 6 we're gonna take a look at. Again, we have some fiction, some graphic novels, so let's get started. Our first one is one of those originals. This is Captain Superlative. Now, Jamie just wants to survive 7th grade by keeping her head down, being invisible, that way no one can see her, and that way she doesn't get picked on, like her best friends and some of their other classmates do, all the time. One day, though, she hears this rumor about this new student who has started. And Jamie decides she's going to start investigating, and when she does so, she realizes that the rumors that she's hearing are true. And this individual goes around by this secret identity of the name Captain, and this individual is just wearing a cape, this is their outfit. They have cape, they have a blue wig, they have a mask, and their mission is to try to make all the troubles in the school disappear. Soon, Jamie figures out the secret identity of this individual, and all of a sudden she knows, she's sucked into this universe and is now the captain's sidekick. But their days may be numbered as more and more people try to figure out the real identity of this individual who is making positive changes around the school for both in the lives of classmates and teachers. Now, this positive story is all about everyday changes that we can make, which make the difference to those around us, and how anyone can be a superhero. This is Captain Superlative. Okay, graphic novel time. This is Green Lantern Legacy, okay? These are one of those DC comics we were just talking about. Now, you may know Green Lantern, but what I love about this one is it kind of gives some backstory. There's some original characters in here. So in this graphic novel, we meet 12-year-old Ty, who's at a crossroads, especially when he learns his recently deceased grandmother, who he thinks he knows everything about. He learns, no, he doesn't know really anything about her, because in reality, she's part of an intergalactic peacekeeping force and was known as a member of the Green Lanterns. That's right, he had no idea. So when he inherits her ring, if he puts this ring on, he's making a choice. He can join this force. That's what happens when he puts this ring on. He will join this force, but he's not sure if that's what he wants. When Ty decides that he does indeed want to join, he puts the ring on because he wants to help his community. His community of Vietnamese Americans, they're having a really difficult time where they're living. He decides he's going to help them out by becoming a Green Lantern. But the training is way harder than what he thought. His 2 best friends are willing to help him, but he knows he's going to need to do a lot of it on its own. And he finds himself on this hero's journey that will change everything over the course of his life and the journey he finds himself on. Super good graphic novel. This is Green Lantern Legacy. Cape. League of Secret Heroes. So it's Philadelphia during World War II. Yeah, that's right. We're going to take some historical fiction in this one. And Josie O'Malley finds herself loving World War games and she's solving puzzles. While she's looking for an ad for puzzle solvers, okay, she's reading the newspaper, she finds this ad for a puzzle solver wanted. She needs to help crack codes. She knows this is the job that's for her. She needs this. So when she goes to try out, she soon finds herself caught, along with 2 other girls named Aiko and May. And they're cut just because they're female. That's the only thing that disqualifies them. They soon, though, find themselves being recruited for secret organizations. And as they start to solve these puzzles, they find that the 3 of them together, when they work together, when they are together, they have superpowers. And it's going to be up to them to defeat a shapeshifter who supports the Nazi regime. Now the series, the first book in the series, book 2, is out. It's inspired by the women who became the first computer programmers, known as the ENIAC 6. There is a ton of history tied into this. Again, there's real codebreaker woman who's inspired by it, with a superhero with some superpower twist. This is Kate. primer graphic novel. So what I love about this one is completely original, but it's DC Comic Universe. So 13-year-old Ashley has not had the easiest time in foster care, and she expresses that through her art, pranks, and graffiti. But she does start to find herself in this new foster family that she's living with. She finds herself in a family in a situation that she actually kind of likes. And she starts to get very comfortable in her new surroundings, in her situation. One day, when her foster mom brings home a mysterious briefcase, Ashley cannot help but open it up and look inside to see what's in there. And what she finds are these paints. And when she decides that she's going to try them out, she wants to paint a picture, she discovers that these are not your normal paints. Instead, these are paints that they have secret superhero abilities when they're painted on your body. And what happens is, like, each of those colors have a special ability. And when you paint that color on your body, you get whatever that power is. Like, for example, if red helps you be invisible and you paint red on you, then you're invisible. Ashley decides that she wants to become her own superhero. So she decides she's going to use the paints, she gives herself the name Primer, and then she takes on this super soldier that's trying to ruin the world, and he also wants to get hold of the paints for his own evil doing, and she needs to protect them, all while also making sure she stays with her foster family. This creative look at foster families and superheroes is one that you will want to read as quickly as you can. It is a standalone, completely original. If you love art, you like the idea of being able to give yourself any type of superpower possible, definitely check this one out. This is Primer. Miles Morales, Spider-Man, okay? This is based on the Marvel Comics, okay? So this is based on the originals done almost 10 years ago now at this point. We meet Miles Morales, who is a high school student by day, and by night, he is the new Spider-Man, succeeding Peter Parker. Now, it's a lot to juggle, though, as he's trying to survive not only his preppy high school where he doesn't fit in, wanting to ask a girl that he really likes, and grieving the recent loss of his beloved uncle who raised him, all while trying to hone his spidey skills and save the city from evil and danger. Just that much going on. When he starts to realize that his real world and his dream world are starting to converge, though, Miles soon figures out that everything is actually connected. And there are going to be dark forces coming that he must fight off if he's going to protect and save everyone and everything that he loves, putting himself to the ultimate test. Now, this backstory of Miles Morales is one that the movie is based off of. Okay, so if you've seen the movie, that movie is based off this book by Jason Reynolds. Okay, I'll tell you right now, the book gets better. But it's a must read if you're a Spider-Man fan or if you love superheroes, or if you just want to read a really good story, because Jason Reynolds writes a wicked good story. This is Miles Morales, Spider-Man. And our last one is a little bit of a different take on a superhero. This is Flora and Ulysses. Okay, so Flora has a lot going on with her parents just divorcing, and she finds comfort in reading comics, even though her mother wants her to read more traditional novels. Now, when a squirrel is sucked into her neighbor's vacuum cleaner, Flora dives in, she rescues the squirrel, she brings him back to life, only to then to find out that the squirrel, now that he's back to life, has superhero powers, and he can now fly and write poetry. Yeah, those are pretty awesome superhero powers. Now, maybe Ulysses, he and Flora start to bond. Flora starts to open up her heart back up once again to him, but her mother does not want a squirrel living in their house, and she will do anything she can do to get rid of Ulysses. Now, Flora's not going to stand for that, and you will find yourself cheering for Flora and Ulysses, wanting to make sure nothing happens to them, all while getting to know and love each other that much more. Plus, who wouldn't want a superhero squirrel who can fly and write poetry? Pretty nifty. This is Flora and Ulysses. So these are 6 of the books we have here at the library that are superhero inspired. So I encourage you to come on out, check out one of these. We have others we can totally help you find, or if you're looking for a completely different book, we can help you find that as well. I hope you tune back next week when we have a whole new middle grade book spotlight, and I hope you have an amazing week.